Okay, what we're going to do here is help you walk through your final presentation and kind of the materials that you're going to need to collect for that. Because, yeah, we all get it. We all know going to school is hard. And that's the library is here to kind of help you sort of carry that load along and make sure that you're ready to find the very best stuff that you need because we want you to do a good presentation. All right. So we're on the library's website right there. You just scroll down to search. Bam. That will open you up in another screen right here. All right, so what we want to do first there is always just sign in. You just use your star ID, make things easy. All right, so I'm signed in now. I've got that, and I'm ready to start searching. So you have a bunch of different subjects that your instructor talked about that you could be using for this final presentation. So you may already have that done, approved, and you're ready to go forward. I am going to talk about in my final presentation, I want mine to be on Bloom's taxonomy. But Bloom's taxonomy is a big topic, so I want to narrow that a little bit. And I want to talk about like Bloom's taxonomy in a classroom. I think that would be interesting. It would be kind of fun for me. So that's what I'm going to look for. All right, let's start by searching for Bloom's taxonomy. If you are a bad speller like me, make sure you spell all these words correctly. So sometimes the catalog thinks maybe you misspelled. Did you intend to search for Blood's taxonomy? No, I did not. I don't even think that's a thing. That's weird. So I'm just going to ignore that. But so if you spelled something wrong or it has another subject, yeah, I might try to help you, but not helping. I don't need that. Okay, so what did I get for Bloom's taxonomy? I got about 17,000 results. Now, none of us, we do not have enough time to look at 17,000 things. That's not going to happen. So, sort of looking at this, right? All right, so this is my big pile. And right now, my pile is 17,000 things high. Let's make that smaller. Now you just go over here. Don't even bother looking at the pile yet, because right now it's big, it's kind of out of control. Let's make that a smaller pile. All right. If you're working at home, especially, you probably just want stuff that's available online. There's no need to pull out books or things that are only going to be found in the library building. You're at home, you're already comfy. Just do that. All right, scroll down to resource type. Now, what do you want? Well, probably articles. I mean, I want articles. And for my final presentation, I mean, books might be helpful. I don't know that I want to look through a whole book. So I'm going to say like book chapters. If there are some book chapters that they can give me that are about Bloom's taxonomy, all right, I like it. And maybe web resources. Maybe that might be interesting. Some of this other stuff, it's just, I don't think I really need it. So let's see where I'm at for now. I can always come back and I can go through I can keep pulling up different kinds of resources, and that might be useful, might be fun. Maybe date. Now, for my presentation, it's not going to matter, but maybe you want to talk about it in a way that's only like the most current. So you could change this to be just like 5 years ago, and you only have things in the last 5 years. That'll make your pile over here a lot smaller, but see what happens. All right, subject. Now, this is where it's really going to be helpful because the database is going to think of words that I don't know. So the only words that I put in are Bloom's taxonomy. But I know that I want to talk about it in terms of like, how am I going to use this in a classroom? So let's scroll. Now, maybe you're going to talk about Bloom's taxonomy, but maybe you're a science student or you're a nursing student. So, ooh, like science and technology, or clicking on life science and biomedicine. That'd be cool for you. Ooh, are you an environmental science student? Or are you interested in that? Yeah. Bloom's taxonomy with just ecology stuff. Oh, that would be cool. That's a good reduction to your pile. All right, I'm going to say education for mine. That's too big. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say students and education research. That sounds interesting. Oh, teaching methods. Oh, that sounds good. What else? Oh, look at that. Educational measurement. I would never have thought to say that, but there are 244 materials in this pile that are about Bloom's taxonomy and educational measurement. All right, that's interesting. I'm going to say curriculum planning. Let's throw those in too. All right, so apply those filters. It's thinking. Okay, now we had 17,000 things and now we've got 3,000. Fantastic. We're doing a really good job here. Now, I'm still not going to search through 3,000 things. That's fine, but I can for sure look through, 30 or 40. So you'll get 10, and I'm kind of scrolling and I'm looking at these titles. Yeah, these all look good. My pile now is stuff that I'm actually interested in. So just ignore that. Click on load more results. So I had 10 things. Now I have, 11, 12. It'll go down and I can keep, adding more results in. All right, interesting. These all look good. So let's go back to the top because now probably what the database thinks that it's doing is it thinks that it's giving me back stuff that I most want first. So let's click on this very first item. Now, just because that's what it thinks, it doesn't mean that it's right. I still make the decision about what I most want. All right, so this is that first article. Okay, immediately I'm happy because I see peer reviewed. What peer reviewed means is these authors, they did some research and they came up with some information, some data, and then they drew conclusions about that and they wrote it up in their article. But you've been online. Anybody can say anything. It doesn't mean it's right. I want things that are right. So what peer reviewed means is before the journal published this, they took this article and they sent it out to some other people who are also in this field. And they said, hey, check over this. And so the peer reviewers, they looked at to see, the way you put together that research, that makes sense. We didn't do the study, but the results that you came up with, those make sense. And the conclusions that you drew, that makes sense too. Phew. Okay. I'm in good hands with a peer-reviewed article. So it's not everything, but it's something that's nice. It makes me feel better to know it's there. All right, I'm going to keep looking at the details about this article. I'm not even going to bother opening it yet because I don't know. All right, so these are the subjects that are in the article. Interesting. Oh, look, curriculum. When I was looking at subjects before, we didn't use that word. So if I want to do more searching and find some different things, curriculum. All right, I could just click that and just keep going, but I'm fine for now. All right, now let's look at the description of the article. Now, this is where it talks just about the article that's here. So you might look at this and you might immediately say, ugh, no. Either I don't understand anything they're saying, they're using words that I do not get, I don't understand, it's too advanced for me, or you might look at it and say, no, this isn't really what I want. But as it happens, this is just what I want. Wow, this looks really interesting. So in this article, they developed what they're calling the visualization blooming tool. And that's putting Bloom's taxonomy specifically focused on visual stuff. Cool. So I need to make a video for this final presentation. They're talking about Bloom's taxonomy in a visual format. So now I have another word that I would go later and search for that. And that would be just the visualization blooming tool. That would be really interesting. Okay, I need to know more. So I'm going to go click on my article. Now this opens up in another screen. Now this is where I don't want you to get thrown. When we're on the catalog in the library's website, everything looks the same. It's all right there. It's all the same. Now, when you go and you click on an article and you open it, the article opens where the publisher puts it. So that means it's all going to look different. It's not bad. Nothing's wrong. It's just they're all going to look different when you open them up. So don't get thrown. All right, let's quickly look through this article and see if this is what we want. All right. So always just start by reading the abstract. So the abstract is going to tell you, it's going to very, very quickly, it'll give you the introduction. In just a sentence or two, it'll say, this is what we did. And then the last sentence is, this is what we found. Ta-da! Great. Sounds good. All right, so read the introduction. And then, and I know this sounds kind of like not what you would expect, scroll past everything else. There are charts, data, research. Great, great, great. All of that looks nice. But we're not going to stop and read any of it, because after you read the introduction, then go read the conclusion. I love the conclusion. The conclusion is how you can tell that this is your article. And this is going to have all the stuff that they learned. It's all right here in one place. Now, after I see what they learned, now I might say, oh, hey, cool. I want to go back and I want to look at some of these charts in a little bit more detail. I want to look at how they set this up. That's going to be interesting to me. But don't bother reading the whole article until you know if it's going where you want it to go. Because you might get down to the conclusion, and what they found was Bloom's taxonomy is garbage. Never use it. It's gross. They'll write it a little fancier than that. But that's not what they found. They found that it's really helpful, and they found that they put together this tool that's definitely going to be good. All right, so I would go back now and I'd read the whole article. And in addition to that, see all of these references? This is one of those sort of cheating, it's not really cheating, library tricks. So when they wrote their article, they used this stuff. So I'm going to look through all of this stuff to see if maybe there's something here that I might want. Not every publisher gives us this, but we're back at the beginning now. But see this right there? That means that this article that I know I like, other people have cited it. So other people have said, yeah, I agree. This is an interesting article. And they put it with their material. I want to cite it and put it with my final presentation. So I want to see who else is doing that too. So that could be really helpful. All right, I know this is a great article. So let's go back to the library's website. I know it's a great article. I know I want it. So click on email and just type in your email address. It can be your school address, your personal, whatever, doesn't matter. And then just write a quick note and just say, hey, for final project in this class. And that way, just send it to yourself. You don't need to worry about then trying to figure out what was that article that I found. It was so good. It was just what I wanted, but you lost track of it. Send it to yourself in an email and you'll have it. All right, now we already did that. And let's say I'm already writing my paper. I'm making my final video. And I want to make sure that in my bibliography, I cite this article. And I want to do it correctly, obviously, because, I'm not stealing things. So I cite correctly. All you do is click that citation button and then see what your instructor wants. MLA, APA, Turabian, Harvard style, whatever. They're all fine. None of them is better or worse than another one. It's pretty much just individual preference. So if your instructor has a preference, then do that. And if not, I like APA, I like MLA. They're both pretty easy. Let's say MLA for this. And then you just copy that citation. And now I just go directly over to my Word document and I drop it into a Word document. And that way it's there. I know I have it. I know it's correct. And I can just save that. All right. That's pretty easy. So I hope that as you're going through all of this and you're thinking about, what kind of resources you're going to find, how you're going to put those together for your final article or your final video for class, that go ahead and ask us questions. So if you want to set up an individual Zoom session with me, or maybe you and a couple of friends want to Zoom, and that way you can kind of all ask questions at the same time, Just send me an email, library@sctcc.edu. That'll be fine. If you want to just ask a quick question, do that too. And if you're looking for, a little library fun in your day, because, who isn't? Go ahead and follow us on Twitter. We'd be really cool. We would like to see you. We'd like to see what you're doing. And we can make sure that we're sharing all the good library information that we have with you. All right. I hope you feel really confident. I think you're ready. I think you're all ready to find some good material here. So I hope this final presentation goes really well. Good luck. All right. Bye bye.